Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Libra, this is for you. Remember, they're general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. That is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see what is going on for you. So for your key to the week, for those of you that are continued subbies, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. Your key to the week is the Hermit card, right? So this is a week where you're kind of pulling it back in order to get the lay of the land. One of the other things that we don't really talk about enough with the Hermit card is sometimes it's not just about the High Priestess having a message for you or spending time alone. Sometimes this card is really about stripping it back to basics. It's asking you to go back to the drawing board. So in all of these different areas of your life, where is it that you can kind of strip things back to their bare components and then rebuild them on an already solid foundation, right? Sometimes we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes we just have to perfect the wheel, all right? For your actions and options this week, you've got the Lovers card, right? So you've got a lot of mercurial energy here. The Virgo, the Hermit card is Virgo, the Lovers card is Gemini. So you've got a lot of mercurial energy here, which does suggest that there's a lot going on in and with the mind. I'm thinking right now of a client, student / friend who really comes to mind because we've had a similar conversation to this very recently. And so there does seem to be a lot going on in there, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. It just means maybe you're overthinking it. And the Lovers card, because it has that element of choice, it may very well be not just that you're overthinking it, but you're overcomplicating it, or you're going through a bit of a moment of analysis paralysis, right? So it's like you're looking too much. There are too many options. There's too many things on the table when really, as I said, stripping it back to basics, right? Pulling it back, reminding yourself that actually sometimes less really is more. In terms of the options that are available to you, there are options. And what I will say to you is, like I said, take the foundations, keep those, and then see what fits moving forward, right? Don't be afraid to open up the dialogue to get a sounding board and all the rest of it. But for the most part, simplify, streamline. For your communications and conversations, you have the Two of Pentacles. Now, this is a card of balance and flow, right? On a very practical level. This is where you look at the facts and the figures, the money, the materials, what is available and what isn't. And when it comes to your profession, your career, etc., this is basically saying, if you are willing to do the hard work over the course of the next 2 years, everything that you desire, everything that you want can absolutely be yours. And it starts now, right? Like, not like, oh, this month and, well, yeah, after the eclipse and blah, 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 blah. It's the Two of Pentacles in this reading for this week. This is a very pivotal week for you. So whatever you're doing now, that hard work for the next 2 years, it begins at this moment in time. When it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, you can do anything. We know that. You're a Libra, super fucking smart. Just pick one, damn it, and stick to that. Right? Like, you don't have to add more and more and more. All of these cards in some way, shape or form are speaking about balance, right? The Hermit card, and a lot of people might say, oh, how does the Hermit card talk about balance? Well, smart ass. The Hermit card talks about balance because he knows that life, the world, the surroundings, the people, etc. is become too loud and he can no longer hear himself think. So you know what? Let me bring balance to my world by stepping away from all of the loud so that I can remember who I am and what my thought process is about. The Lovers card is dual-bodied. Mercury, that rules the Hermit, is dual-bodied. The Two of Pentacles is dual-bodied, right? Balance is what you're looking for. You are the sign of balance. So this is really just about picking one and sticking with that. When it comes to those of you that are employed by somebody else, if you have a day job and you have a side hustle, a side business, or you have a business alongside your day job, your normie job, and you're thinking, you know what, one day I would love to do this full time, your countdown of 2 years starts now. Get ready, right? Just pick your destination. Forget about the how and the why and all the rest of it. That's the human shit, right? Make your decision and watch the universe go towards it for you. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, that you're already in that space and that sphere, I love this for you because it means that you're sorting through the facts and figures. You're being really honest about what it's going to take and what it's, you know, what is possible and what isn't possible. And that genuine objectivity that you're displaying at this moment in time is very powerful, right? I love this for you. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, I think this is you getting your facts and figures in order so that you can make some kind of move. It doesn't necessarily have to be a home move. I think for a lot of you, this is like, you know what, I think I want to go back to school. And in order to do that, I need to make sure that my retirement funds and money and all the rest of it are actually going to support me. For your love and relations, you've got the Three of Wands. Love this. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, if there are thoughts about going into business together, I'm all for it. Especially if you have already run the conservative numbers and been really honest with yourself about where you're actually at. It looks like you're starting from scratch with something brand new, but you have more than enough beginner's luck to carry you forward, after which, you know, the smarts, the knowledge and the experience will need to kick in. For the other thing as well, this could literally be, for some of you, this could be about travel. For those of you that are single and looking, it is an older, entrepreneurial, somebody that's like what we would call like a genuine smarty pants, but somebody who still remembers how to be fun, how to be jovial, how to snap you out of it from time to time. I like this person. Listen, honey, if they're single and you don't want them, let me know. Jokes aside, I say that they're older because we've got the Hermit card present. There's nothing else here that suggests that. Now, even though they are older, there's a lot of mercurial energy here. So I can tell you that while this person may be older than you in years, it's very possible that they either look as young as you or younger than you. All very possible. Mercury ruled people tend to show up. They look so bloody youthful. And I'll never forget, I knew a guy who was a Gemini. He was a giant. But when I tell you, this guy had the most beautiful features you've ever seen. He had like these long eyelashes. His eyes were sort of like very curved. And when I said, like, when he told me his age, I was like, I'm sorry, what now? Like, just genuine. He was a Gemini, and I think he was a Gemini rising as well. So like he had that double hit. But Gemini people or Mercury ruled people, they tend to age very, very well. All right. So for your money and materials, you have the Moon card. Watch out for emotional spending this week. Now, interestingly enough, the Hermit, certainly in its numerological perspective, the Hermit and the Moon card, they share a lot of things, right? So the Hermit card is number 9, Moon card is number 18, 1 and 8 gives you 9. They are also direct opposites in the zodiac because the Moon card is Pisces. Pisces and Virgo sit opposite each other in the zodiac. There's something this week that you are looking at with your finances and your resources, and I think this is a moment of really big self-honesty to say, actually, I could have been further ahead than this if I'd have got my, excuse my language, got my shit together a little bit earlier. This is not a video about bashing Libras. I love Libras, right? In fact, one of my best friends, I know that sounds awful, like one of my best friends was a Libra, right? Like but you get what I mean. Like one of my best friends actually in secondary school was a Libra. My best friend, she was actually a Pisces. But he was like, we were really close for a long time, and he was a Libra, and so I've seen how you guys are, and I watched him grow into a really wonderful human being. The reason I'm saying this is, it kind of feels like this week has a lot of potential to really propel you forward if you're willing to step on the path, if you're willing to make a decision and just to stick with it. If you're going to do this usual sort of stereotypical, oh, but what about, and oh, if you're going to do all of that, you're going to miss a window of opportunity to start something, right? If you've been with me long enough, because I know there's someone in the background, oh, don't be such a doomsday sayer, like, you always get multiple chances in them. I'm a big believer that you get multiple chances and opportunities in life. And if you miss one, sometimes it comes around in another way. There's a very specific shelf life to this because of that Two of Pentacles. So when it comes to your money, watch the emotional spending. Don't put money into something that you really don't believe in or want to be associated with or attached to. Make a decision. Let that be factored in for the next 2 years and stick with it. Come high, go low, right? I'll give you an example. You know all this business with the mortgage stuff that's going on at the moment? If the only rate that you can get, you get right now, and it's fixed for the next 2 years, right? This is an example, but it feeds in because we're talking about your home sector here as well and your money and materials. Let's say you get an interest rate, you lock your mortgage in for 2 years, 6 months down the line, they drop to like 3% less than what you're currently paying. Okay, yes, it sucks, but that's it. You're locked in. Don't spend time whinging about that. Just work with what you have, right? Lock yourself in for the next 2 years, whatever this means to you. Once you do that, you will be able to deal with anything that comes up, all right? If you get into this, because the moon card is the past, if you get into this shoulda, coulda, woulda when it comes to money, resources, finances, etc., you're going to stray from the path, and then you're going to get in your head and you're going to do this whole flip-flop in business, right? When it comes to when it comes to your physical health and vitality, especially because the Hermit card is here, this week I want you to be really, like, if there are things that you know, whether by, I'm not a doctor, I can't give you medical advice, always listen to your medical practitioner. I can say this, right? There are certain things that it's not proven. I haven't had a doctor say to me, oh, this throws your body, Raf, out of kilter and all the rest of it. I know because I feel it. If there is something that you eat, drink, ingest, whatever the case might be, that you know throws off your hormonal imbalance or, fucks up your mood, this week get on top of it. All right? Again, factor this in. You're on a 2-year journey. I don't know, that Two of Pentacles is loud. It's like, it's really, really screaming at me. Then when it comes to your home and environment, I mean, I talked about the mortgage stuff, but on a sort of more practical level, or should I say more of a here and now level, the moon card when it comes to the home, it's time for you to start understanding how your home is either healing your soul or hindering your soul. Whether that's the home, whether it's the area, whether it's the people, the neighbours, maybe it's all of the above. It's doing one or the other for you, and you have to decide now which one it is. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a great week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Sorry for the very long video. Take care.